Hey guys, welcome back to the playoffs of the 2027-2028 season. We've got the Detroit Red Wings yet again, as a few years ago we did lose to them in the first round. Again, a big upset at that time, and this would be equally as one as we dominated the league and ended up with the first overall seed in the playoffs. So, take a look at the lines going into this postseason, as we cannot for the life of us get past the second round, as we've only been there twice, I believe, and this would be our 9th attempt at the playoffs. So we have our first line of Tristan Holmes, Quentin Byfield, and Luke Riley. 5 overall chemistry. It's done very well for us this season. Then on the second line, we've got Dylan Guenther, Eichel, and Pasternak. Third line of Harry Gargiulo, Cousins, and Konechny. And the fourth line of Bellows, Zegras, and Bjorkstrand, who have done great on that fourth line. On defense, we've got Rasmus Dahlin and Jamie Drysdale, who's been a pairing since essentially the second season. So they're going on their 7th season as our D pairing. On the second pairing, we traded for Juuso Valimaki, and he's paired up with Joki Harju, who has been with us for 9 seasons already, 28 years old now. Third pairing, we traded for Dmitry Samarkov, and he is paired with Andrei Juolevi. In net, we signed Igor Shesterkin after we moved on from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and he had a fantastic season, although his playoff numbers do not look very good, and he's backed up by Dmitry Bykov. So we will see if we can beat these Red Wings, who did have a decent season. Let's take a look at what the Red Wings are looking like now in the 2028 playoffs. As Zadina, who is an 89 overall, with Dylan Ulver and Jeremy Wilmer. It's first overall pick. Yeah, a couple of first rounders for them on the first line. With Casey Middlestad, who is an 86 overall, we moved on from him quite a long time ago. Isaac Lundstrom as a second line center, and then Robbie Fabry, an 85 overall, 32 years old now. Andre Palat's 37 on the third line, with Tyler Zhao, who's an 85 overall at 20 years old, a 4th overall pick last season. Solomon Timmins, 82 overall, 21-year-old, as they are just having a great draft class. And then Alexander Kofut, Rasmussen, and Mangiapane as their fourth line, as they've got a lot of depth. On defense, they've got Dennis Cholowski and Moritz Seider, who's up to a 91, with Matt Roy and Anton Olsen, 82 and 79, and then Philip Sekerash and Tuomo Allen, who this is where we obviously have a significant advantage of on defense. In net, they've got Thatcher Demko, who's an 84 overall, 32 years of age, backed up by Jonas Korpisalo. So guys, we'll get into game number 1, and I hope to God that we can finally move on from this and see if we can't get into the second round and see if we can't do it, with relative ease. As here is the ratings, as our offense is slightly better at 193 overall on defense, and then in net they have the slight advantage as our backup isn't very good. So let's move on and see if we can't take down the Detroit Red Wings. As rating-wise, they're not bad at all. So here we go, guys, with game number 1 in Buffalo. And we'll see if we can't finally move on to the second round early. It's these Red Wings. Through the first period, we take the 2-1 lead as Tristan Holmes gets 2, with Dylan Ulver answering, as Tristan Holmes picks up where he left off, as he scored 50 for us in this regular season. Through 2 periods, Detroit ties it up as they get another goal there. As we enter the third period now, we'll slow sim it as Zegras, our fourth line, gets on the board there. Big goal for us, adept goals. We have another power play chance, and Joki Harju buries on the power play. Detroit with a chance of their own on the power play. That doesn't go, as we've got 5 minutes remaining in the third period, and it looks like, late power play for Detroit, and it won't matter, as we will take game number 1. So we take a look at the 3 stars, as Holmes with 2 goals, Zegras with that late goal, and Shesterkin. Finally, we have a goaltender who is showing up in the playoffs. 4-2 in game number 1, as that's the start we want in the playoffs, as we'll sim to game number 2 and see if we can't take a 2-0 lead on the series. As after the first period, it is 2-2 as Wilmer and Kerfoot score for the Red Wings, and Joki Harju again with Luke Riley scoring on the power play goal. Through 2 periods, we get one back as Dylan Cousins scores to make it 3-2. We're going to enter the third period with a lead, as we are getting thoroughly outshot but Shesterkin is keeping us in it as Olver's going to tie it, though, and Barrie one right after that. As 2 goals in about 30 seconds give Detroit the lead. We've got under 10. Can we tie it up late as we are getting pumped in shots? And we do as Eichel buries one late. Huge goal from the captain. As again, we're almost getting 2-1. And Cousins is going to score with about a minute remaining. Holmes will add the empty netter. And Dahlin as well. As 4 straight goals in the matter of 6 minutes. And we win 7-4 as holy smokes. Maybe things are starting to turn around here as Yoki Haru is going off so far in the playoffs. Huge win for us there as that would not have happened the prior 8 years. So we're up 2-0. And we're going to go to Detroit now. As we take a look around the other series and see how it's going there. As we're up 2-0 as the Blues over the Stars, 2-0 the Sharks over the Blackhawks, 1-1 in VGK and Vancouver, and 1-1 in Arizona and Anaheim. In the East, it's 2-0 Leafs over the Lightning, 2-0 Canadiens over the Flyers, and 1-1 between the Penguins and the Hurricanes. So let's take a look. Our leading scorer is Tristan Holmes with 4 points, and we're heading into game number 3. Up 2-0 in the series. Through the first period, it is 2-2 again as Pasternak and Byfield score to make it 2-0 with Zadina and Palat answering right back as we've got 4 goals in about 4 minutes of play. Through 2 periods, though, it's going to be 2-2. Can we make it a 3-0 stranglehold as Detroit gets a power play as now we're back to dominating the shot clock. This is 32-24 power play for us. Can't go. It's at 2-2. Another power play for Detroit. It's a 5-on-3, and Wilmer's going to score there over Shesterkin. Can we get some late magic again? As 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1. And it looks like that is going to do it as Detroit will win 3-2. And they creep back into the series as Thatcher Demko goes off for 40 saves. That's unfortunate as we blow the chance to go up 3-0. As now I'm getting a little nervous as I do not want to go back to Buffalo tied. So Tristan Holmes, we'll take a look at our stats here actually. Is anyone doing bad? Is there any adjustments that need to be made? Although, I mean, we have... no, we lost by 1 and we dominated so far. I really don't want to make any adjustments. And here we go into game number 4. A win we really want. First period, and we'll take the lead as Eichel scores again to make it 1-0. Through 2 periods, it's still going to be 1-0 for us. So we have the lead. Power play chance early. Doesn't go. It's still 1-0. We have the shots power play for Detroit, and that doesn't go. Now I'm getting really nervous. I really want this first round win. It's Detroit still trailing by 1. 5 minutes to go. Can we hold on? And we will. As Konechny will score, they'll get one back, and that'll do it. They made it interesting as Zhao scores with 51 seconds remaining. And that'll do it as, again, Demko turning in a great performance, but Shesterkin playing a little bit better as I don't understand how he gets the second star, but here we are. As we'll take a 3-1 series lead. Something we have not enjoyed really ever in this series. As we'll look to eliminate the Detroit Red Wings in game number 5. And here we go through the first period in game number 5. It is 2-0. Luke Riley with 2 goals there. And we get another. Over scores, but Eichel answers right back, and it's 3-1. We have them on the ropes. Can we hold on now? We have the shot edge. Can we finally move on to the second round easily as Over scores? Hold on, as now it's a 1-goal game. They get a power play. 5-on-3 for just ever, but Dahlin's going to score and make it 4-2. 5-2 as Bellows gets on the board. And we are finally moving on to the second round. And a dominant performance finally in this series. We get the dominant performance that this team should have had, as statistically and on paper, this team is just an absolute force. And that round's over, and we're going to play the Leafs in round number 2. We have lost numerous times to the Leafs as they knocked off the Lightning. But let's take a look at how things look around the league. As The playoff tree in the second round is the Sharks and Blues going up against and then it'll be the Canucks and Coyotes. In the East, it's Philly and the Penguins. Great series there. And Toronto and Buffalo. That would be an amazing series. Both of those, were they to happen in real life. We'll have to take a look here. As in the AHL, we are on to the second round, it looks like. And we are doing well down there as Luke Riley leads our team in points with 6 points in 5 games. We'll take a look statistically how they line up as we have the advantage in all 3 facets of the game. But the Leafs, like I said, have won multiple cups and have had our number in this entire franchise sim. So let's take a look at what the 2028 Leafs look like. As there is no more Matthews, as Mitch Marner, 92 overall at 30 years old. Tavares is 37, and Nylander at 93. He's 31 years old. This is an old squad now. Tavares on the downturn. Their middle depth on center is just really weak. As Taylor Radish is 30 years old, 88 overall. DeBrusk and Jack Badini, with Cam Morrison, Donato, Carson Kopstalls, with Sokolov, Kurashev, and Zach Hyman, who's still on the squad. Let's take a look on defense. They've got Morgan Riley with Timothy Liljegren. Great defensive pairing there. Neil Pionk and Rasmus Sandin. And then Michael Matheson and Philip Myers as well. So a good D pair, as our D pair kind of matches up almost, identical. I mean, we have a little bit more star power, but we'll see. In net, they've got Robin Leonard, 36 years old. Look at that save percentage. Oh, my goodness. As scratches are Victor Rask and Justice Olver. We have the advantage. This team is far better than these Toronto Maple Leafs. There should be no reason. Can we finally get to the conference finals? Here we go with game number 1 in Buffalo. Through 1. It is 1-1 as Morrison and Drysdale will score as they get a power play goal. Through 2 periods, it's 2-2 as Tristan Holmes and Kopstalls scores. And here we go with the third period. Can we get a lead in the second round of the playoffs for, I think, what would be the first time ever, as we did make the second round once, only to be eliminated by the Lightning, and I believe that was back in year 5. And we have not made it out in the 9 seasons that we have done this franchise mode. As Riley will score to make it 3-2 late in the third. And that's it. We are going to take game 1. There's a different feel about this Sabre squad, as Tristan Holmes gets 3 points, Riley with 2, and Byfield with 2. Is that first line? It's showing that the chemistry is just proving to be too much. We'll go into game number 2. Leading 1-0 in the series. This feels different, boys. This could be it. All right, into game 2 through the first period, and it is 3-2 for us as Donato and DeBrusk score for them, and Valimaki trade deadline acquisition, and Cousins and Gargiulo will score a late one for Gargiulo. Through 1, it is 3-2 as they have 2 goals on 9 shots, though. Through 2 periods, it is 5-2 as Riley and Byfield score as well. And through the third period, we'll play it out. Can they come back? I don't think so, but crazier things have happened. As they get the power play, doesn't go. Buffalo, can we just carry this one out? Get a nice win, and we score again as Dahlin rips one in on the power play. 4 minutes, under 4 to go, and that looks like it'll do it, and we are going to win 6-2 as we take a 2-0 lead in the second round. Holmes has 4 assists. Look at the first line just absolutely explode here, as Holmes has 12 points in 7 games. That is insane. Holmes has 12 points. Riley with 11 and Byfield with 9. That is absolutely nuts production, as they've got 32 points in 7 games. As we're transitioning away from, the Pasternak and Eichel era, and it's slowly becoming Tristan Holmes, Riley, and Byfield's team. And we're going to sim to Game 3 now. We were up 2-0 in the first round and lost Game 3. We'll see if we can win this one, as Shesterkin has not allowed more than 2 goals in this series, but we'll see. Through the first period, and it's 1-1. Donato again, and Gunther will score as he hasn't gotten on the board Through 2 periods, it is all Toronto as Radish, Morrison, and Nylander will make it 4-1, and that might be too steep of a hill to climb in the 3rd period, but here we go. You never know. Can these Sabres come back and take, as we score Zegras, a 4th liner? Can we kill the penalty? We do. 10 minutes to go. Can we get another one? As it's now 4-2, and that'll pretty much do it as Hyman will score to make it 5-2. And it looks like they are going to take Game 3 just like Series 1. As Leonard shuts the door as their big dogs have not really done anything. It's been their depth. And yeah, their team is just not nearly as good as ours, but they will take Game 3. That's fine. We still have a 2-1 lead. And here we go in to game number 4. I do not want to be tied. And we're going to take the 1-0 lead. Zegras has played fantastic in the playoffs so far on the 4th line. Through 2 periods. Man, it's been all Toronto in these 2nd periods. Bedini gets one back. Can we score in the 3rd and take the lead? We're out shooting them heavily as Riley will score again as that 1st line comes through. There's Cousins to make it 3-1. Power play for us, and we are going to just absolutely start pouring it on as Holmes scores another power play for us. We're out shooting them with 40 shots on goal almost, and it looks like we're going to take game number 4. And here we go. We are 1 win away from the conference finals as Shesterkin has done fantastic. And we're going to and we are going to go to the next round. We are looking to go to the next round and finally shake free of these Toronto Maple Leafs and the Lightning, as we have not been able to get free of them. Will we blow a 3-1 series lead is the question. Through number 1 in game number 5. It's 1-1 again. Riley again is Sokolov for the Leafs. The 2nd period has been all Leafs. Game number 5. It's going to be all Sabres as Gargiulo, Holmes, and Pasternak make it 4-1, and we're going to play this out as it looks like we're finally going to get into the conference finals. 4-1, 5-on-3, another power play for us. Just chew the clock. No collapse. 5-1, Holmes scores again. As the 50-goal scorer is just absolutely going ham, and we are going to advance to the conference finals. Holmes has 3 more points. This is crazy. And we are moving on in 5 games. We take down the nemesis Toronto Maple Leafs, and who are we going to play? I got a feeling it's the Penguins. And it is. We are going to be playing the Pittsburgh Penguins to go to the Stanley Cup. And in the AHL, we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. We have a chance to go double up here in Calder and Stanley Cup, but let's not get ahead of ourselves as let's take a look at the teams. As far as ratings go, 250-win teams. We have the advantage in every single area. They put up 50 wins, though. Let's take a look at the lines going into the 3rd round. It's Pittsburgh. They've got Gensel, 33 years old now, 88 overall. Mika Zibanejad at 87, and Carter Ackers, who they did sign as an RFA from us. We got 4 first-round picks for it, and he is having a great postseason. It's Carter Ackers, who we did have to move on from. Anthony Duclair, Philip Hallander, and Victor Olofsson, another ex-Sabre, at 87 overall at 32 years of age. Dryden Hunt, Ryan Paling, and Nikolai Goldobin is their 3rd line, with Jeremy Bracco, Jonathan Ang, and Samuel Poulin is their 4th line. So decent depth. Again, they lack the up top is Carter Ackers. They're only 90 overall. But let's take a look on defense. As Shea Theodore and Philip Veronic is their first pairing. Molly Mata and Pierre-Olivier Joseph with Mikko Numanen and Urho Vakanainen. Let's take a peek here. As he's 26, so we do have the advantage there. And in net, Matt Murray, who's done fantastic for them. Let's take a look at how we're doing, though, statistically. Oops. As we look around, our team is Tristan Holmes. That first line has just been bananas. As the first line of Holmes, Riley, and Byfield I mean, that right there is 30 points, 43 points in 10 games. Absolutely insane. And then we've got Dahlin and Pasternak, Yoki Harju having a good run, Drysdale with 8. I mean, we've got 3 defensemen. That's almost point per game in the playoffs. But after that, I mean, Zegras has 4 points. He scored some big goals for us, though. The only one that's really disappointing, I mean, Eichel having 5 points in 10 games. That's okay. No one's a negative either. So that's fantastic. Let's look at net. It's just jerking. The net has always been our problem. We've got a .920 save percentage and a 2.5 goals against. And it looks like Dmitry Bykov did come in for a little while and did get the win. It didn't give up anything. So here we go. Guys, we are going to go into series number 3. Can we get to the cup? As game number 1 gets underway in Buffalo. We have home ice throughout the entire playoffs, and through 1, it is 2-0 Buffalo. Tristan Holmes again in the 4th line of Kiefer Bellows will make it 2-0. Through 2, it's 3-0. Luke Riley again as the first line just continues to pound whoever we play. 3rd period now as Gensel gets on the board for the Penguins. We answer right back with Dahlin, as Dahlin has been pretty good as far as scoring goes. Olofsson gets them within 2. Little nervous now. 10 minutes to go. Trailing by 2. Power play for us doesn't go. Power play for them. And it looks like we are going to take game number 1 as these Sabres 3 wins away from the Cup final as Luke Riley and Byfield again continue to just absolutely onslaught the opposition. All right. Can you feel it, chat? Can you feel it, boys? This could be the year. And here we go. Game number 2 in Buffalo. It's been this could be the 3rd straight round that we take a 2-0 lead. As through period number 1, it's 1-1. As Samakarov and Olofsson are the goal scorers. Through 2 periods, it's going to be Pittsburgh as Numanen will score. And here we go into the 3rd period, trailing by 1. We have the advantage in shots. Can we tie things up? And Paling's going to score to make it 3-1. That might be enough as they have a 2-goal edge. 10 minutes to go in the game. We need that first line to just come up huge. 7 minutes, 6, 5, 4, 3. And that looks like we're going to run out of time as Pittsburgh will take game number 2. As we cannot take the 2-0 lead as Matt Murray goes absolutely ham. 38 saves. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll move on to game number 3. This one's in Pittsburgh. We want the split at least. Let's get a split. So here we go. Through the first period. Game number 3 in Pittsburgh. And it's 0-0. 17-11 is the shots. Can we get one in the second? And it's 1-0 Pittsburgh as Goldobin is now we're running into Matt Murray and he's putting on a performance. And Hollander will score to make it 2-0. We get a power play. Can't score though. Power play for Pittsburgh. That doesn't go either. Shots are about even and it looks like we might not even get on the board here. As Murray again just... Oh, here we go. Tristan Holmes, 6 minutes to go. Can we get another one? And we do as Jewel Levy ties it up. Late in the 3rd, and we score again. Pasternak, 3 straight goals in 3 minutes. 4 straight. And we are going to steal game number 3 as 4 goals in 6 minutes. Holy smokes, as Pasternak comes out of nowhere. He hadn't really done much since that first round. Oh my goodness, as we're going to take game 3, and we are going to move to a 2-1 advantage. As the Sharks are dominating the Canucks. I really don't want to play my Sharks. But we can't worry about that. Game number 4. Can we take a stranglehold on the series in Pittsburgh? Through 1, it's 2-0 as Byfield and Bjorkstrand. I believe Bjorkstrand's first goal of the playoffs. And Byfield has been a powerhouse. Through 2 periods, it's still 2-0. Can we hold on to this 2-0 lead and take a 3-1? Konechny scores. Power play for Pittsburgh. They don't score. They outshoot us heavily. But Riley scores on the power play. 4-0 power play for Pittsburgh. Shesterkin shuts the door. Buffalo 4-0. We're minutes away from a 3-1 series lead. Can we get the shutout? We do. It's just Yorkin doesn't allow a goal. 34 saves for the shutout. Byfield with a couple points. Riley with a couple points. I want to see Riley's overall, as he has just absolutely shed expectations this year as an 84 overall. That chemistry has just done wonders. We are 1 win away. We have 3 chances to eliminate the Pittsburgh Penguins and move on to face the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup final. Here we go. Through the first period, it's 0-0. 7-15 in shots as Pittsburgh just come out hungry. Through 2 periods, it's 2-1 as Acker scores for Pittsburgh, but Byfield and Pastrnak answer right back, and we are minutes away, 1 period away. Power play for us, and we score. Pastrnak again he's having a great playoff round. 30-22 in shots. We've got a 2-goal advantage. We've got to hold this. As Acker scores to make it close. Can we hold on? As Carter Acker's ex-Sabre has just done a number, and Cousins is going to score, and we're going to move on to the Stanley Cup final. Finally, a playoff run as Ackers has 2 goals. Pastrnak answers back with 2 of his own, and we are going to play the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup final. Holy smokes. To be honest, in real life, I would love this because I'd actually be able to go and see a finals game. As the Sharks, clearly the underdog in this. Let's take a look around as Tristan Holmes has 21 points. We'll take a look at how we got here first. As we beat the Detroit Red Wings in the first round, 4-1, followed that up with a 5-game win against the Leafs, and then we won in 5 again. We've had 3 losses. We're 12-3. However, these Sharks have literally not lost a game. Unbelievable. 3 straight sweeps. All right, that's a little intimidating. Let's take a look at the stats, though. Oh my goodness. 12-0. Tristan Holmes and Luke Riley are leading the postseason. Brock Besser no longer in the playoffs, and Quentin Byfield. That whole first line is almost 1, 2, and 3 in terms of scoring. As then it's a lot of... Okay, hang on. Let's get our bearings here. As we did lose in 5 in the AHL playoffs postseason, but that's okay. We've already won the Calder in Season 1, actually. So let's look at the ratings first, as we are by far the dominant team, on defense especially, as we have a 100 rating on offense. Okay, now let's take a look at the lines and how we stack up against these Sharks. What do these Sharks even look like now? As I saw Hurdle is still with the team. So Anthony Beauvillier is a first liner with Tomas Hertl, who's 34 years old and 88 overall. Andrei Kolosov was a first rounder for them in 2021. Turned out to be a second line forward or the medium elite. Then they've got Matthew Perreault and Kevin Labanc, who's 32, with Jesse Puljujarvi at 30 years old. Joachim Blichfeld with Joe Veleno and Christian Vesalainen, with Carl Jacobs, who was a second-round pick for them, with Radek Faksa and Stelio Mateos. So, I mean, clearly the high-end talent we have. Their depth is pretty good, though. On defense, they have Maxime Lajoie with Ryan Merkley, Justin Barron, Rick Schultz. Who's Rick Schultz? Second-rounder for them in 2024. Marcus Peterson and Ryan Ellis on defense. We have a gigantic advantage on defense. In net, Joseph Wall, an elite starter, 934 save percentage. All right, and here is how we are going to match up. As our first line, Tristan Holmes, leading the league in postseason scoring, with Quentin Byfield and Luke Riley is having a great season. Pastrnak, Eichel, and Dylan Gunther on our second line. Harry Gargiulo with Cousins and Konechny on the third, and then Oliver Borkstrand with Zegras and Kiefer Bellows. On defense, we've got Rasmus Dahlin and Drysdale, Jokiharju and Valimaki, and Samakarov and Joe Alivi. And in net, Igor Shesterkin. Okay, this is it, guys. The Stanley Cup Finals. And here we go. Game number 1 in Buffalo. We won the President's Trophy, got home ice throughout the playoffs, and here we go through the first period, and it's 3-0. Holy smokes. As Baron, Vesalainen, and Beauvillier make it 3-0. All right, through 2 periods, we aren't on the board. What is happening? How has this team not lost a game yet? Into the third period, we're tied in shots. Can we get on the board? Oh my goodness. As these Sharks have literally not lost a game in the postseason. And we're going to get shut out in game number 1. Absolutely insane. Okay, that takes the wind out of the sails a little bit. As Joseph Woll is certainly scary. Why was Bykov in nets? Oh, he would have gotten pulled for the 3 goals. You don't know how many shots you're going to get at a cup. We got to move on into game number 2. We haven't really stumbled. We've only lost 1 game in every series so far. Through 1. Can we have a better first period this time? All right, we get on the board. It's Pasternak and Kolasov. I'll take that. All right, 1-1. We're leading in shots through 2 periods. We have the lead. Tristan Holmes on the power play. And let's see if we can hold on to the lead. Power play for us there. We can't score as we're doubling them in shots. We have another power play. Can we get an insurance marker? We can't. Can we hold on to the 1-goal lead? Game 2. As they had a huge 3-0 lead late in the third period. Can we hold on? And we do. All right, so we narrowly escaped there. As Woll just continues to be an insane performer so far in the postseason. As Holmes, though, has been rock solid for us. And definitely the Conn Smythe winner if we were to make it. 1-1. I'll take the split. We are now in San Jose. And we'll see if we can win in the SAP Center. As here we go in game number 3, guys. Through the first period, it's 2-1. As their starts have been great. Jacobs and LeBanc score, but Gunther gets one back. Through 2 periods, it's still the same as Konechny will score, but Kolasov answers late in the second. And we're trailing. And we score immediately as Eichel gets one on the board. Shots are about even. Power play for San Jose. They can't score. 3-3, 10 minutes to go in the game, and they get another power play. They can't score. We kill it. We get a power play. Can we score? 5 minutes to go. We're in next goal wins territory. They have the edge in shots, and it looks like we're going into overtime. So we haven't even had an overtime this postseason, and we get one in the Cup final. We do not want to go down 2-1. Let's see. Can we get the win? As here we go. Shots are about even. And we do. Valimaki trade deadline acquisition is going to bury an overtime to give us a 2-1 advantage. As Eichel steps up, the captain, Valimaki gets 2 points. And a huge game winner. And we're just 2 wins away from the cup now. All right, I'm antsy. Into game 4. Can we take a stranglehold? Through the first period. And it's 3-2 for us. Cousins, Holmes, and Byfield, Vesalainen, and Beauvillier for them. 15-10 in shots. Through 2. They score 3 straight again. Perreault, Veleno, and Puljujarvi. And now they have a 2-goal lead in the third. Make that a 3-goal lead. 4-goal lead. Holy smokes, as we just get shelled in game 4. 5-on-3 for us. We don't bury. Well, Riley scores to make it a 3-goal game, but Ellis answers right back as it's 8 goals on 28 shots. What happened here? That was an absolute mess. All right, so the series is even. That was ugly. Oh my goodness. Like, who was negative in that? Everyone, obviously. Oh my goodness here. That was a shellacking. I mean, but it's 2-2. We got the splits. Let's take a look now. I mean, we can't touch that first line. Man. I mean, there's a problem when Eichel and Cousins have the same amount of points. What about on defense? Nah. Second pairing's kind of weak. We got to keep it the same. I don't really see any changes as here we go. Game 5. Through the first period, it's 1-0 for us as Tristan Holmes scores again right in the crease, it looks like. Through 2 periods now, it's 3-0 as Eichel and Gunther both score. 3-0. All right, huge lead. Let's see if we'll blow it. They have an edge in shots, barely though. And I think we might have the win here to give us the 3-2 edge in the series. 5-on-4. Can we pump one? Nope. 3-0 here. Big answer game by Shesterkin here as he gave up 8, it looks like, in game number 4. And we're going to win 3-0. As he has just been a fantastic signing for us. We moved on from Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and we went with the lower-rated Shesterkin, and we will see. We're going to go to the next game here, and we're in San Jose. Are we going to win? On the road. This is for the Cup. We have 2 chances at it in our 9th season. Here we go. Through the first period, it is 4-2 as Bjorkstrand, Holmes, Gargiulo, and Holmes again come out firing on 11 shots. We give up 2. Through the second period, it's 6-2 as Pasternak and Eichel score on the power play. And this could be it, unless there is some monumental collapse. We are just absolutely buzzing. A power play here, a 4-goal lead. Make that 5 as Zegras piles on. Under 5 to go. They make one here. And we're going to pause it as we score right as I pause it. And it's 8-3. And we are finally going to win the Cup. It took 10 seasons. We are finally going to win the Stanley Cup. Holy smokes, as Tristan Holmes has 27 points. Unbelievable. The Charlotte Checkers win the Calder Trophy, but I mean, we had a shot at that as well. We were in the Final Fours. We're going to sim to the draft here, and we're going to take a look at the awards as we finally win the Cup, guys. We'll take a look at the retired players. As Carlson is now gone. He's retired after 1,200 points. Kuznetsov's gone. Duchesne, Evander Kane, O'Reilly, Josh Bailey, Van Riemsdyk, Thomas Tatar, Ellis, Braden Shen, Roman Yossi, Dadonov. Dadonov's 40. Kreider, Perreault, Hoffman, Kevin Hayes, Johnson. Holy smokes, a lot. So we're running out of real-life players as we move on in the series. Freddie Anderson is gone. Bobrovsky, Jake Allen, Lauren Brassard, Matt Tompkins. Yeah, no one really there. And, guys, we did it. Evander Kane is now a coach. That would be interesting. As we're now in the draft, I want to take a look at the awards. As these Buffalo Sabres, it took forever. We won the 2027-2028 Stanley Cup. Finally. The President's Trophy we also cleaned house on. And the Prince of Wales Trophy, obviously. Let's take a look at individual awards as Sam Steele will win the Art Ross, beating Draisaitl. And Pasternak, we did have Pasternak win it in 2025-26. The Hart Memorial goes to Quentin Byfield as he gets his first major award. It's a great season by him. The Norris goes to Riley for the second straight season, as Carlson had dominated it prior to that. The Lady Byng goes to Sam Steele. The Calder goes to LaCosta from the Ducks. Conn Smythe, Tristan Holmes, as he was an absolute force. The Vezina goes to Shesterkin. Huge performance, individually and as a team. The Jennings goes to him as well. The Masterson to Wanvig. The Jack Adams to Wilcox. The Selke goes to Austin Matthews, who is a Columbus Blue Jacket. The Ted Lindsay is Byfield's as well. The Rocket Richard goes to Podkolzin, who wins 3 out of the last 4 years. Insanity. As finally, that's done. As we did it, I'm going to end the video there. As we are finally Stanley Cup champions. And I know I got to think of what we're going to do in the future for this series. I don't know if we continue it on. I mean, we're almost halfway through running an entire franchise mode. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching this whole series. It's been awesome. It's my first foray into franchise mode. I've loved the comments. I've loved the interaction. And let me know if you want me to keep going or start someone new. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again, boys.